future champions! Welcome to Studio Simba. Do you know you only have the first 7 seconds to leave a lasting impression in your interview? And what's more interesting is the first question is almost always the same. Tell me about yourself. And the answer to this question is going to be the key driver for how your interview proceeds further. Are you surprised? Yes, you heard it right. Now, you can be in the driver's seat of your interview too. Job interviews can be quite demanding, be it the technical round, the behavioral round, or the critical thinking round. But with the right strategy and a perfect framework, you can ace this too. Now, in this video, we are going to talk about the 5 most important interview tips for freshers. So, let's get started. Researching well before an interview is one of the most critical things to do. Now, the research can be subdivided into 3 critical areas, namely company research, industrial research, and interview research. The first section talks about researching the company. It covers the key areas such as mission, vision, product or services offered, financial results, and recent news related to the organization. Having the company research done will help you to tackle key questions such as why do you want to join this company? What are the new products or services that you'd like to introduce? What are the key business segments that we are operating in? And many more. Secondly, comes industrial research. It focuses mainly on the industry trends, key drivers, challenges, competitive landscape, and impact of emerging technologies on the industry. Industry research forms the backbone of gaining an understanding of the market the organization is working in. Often, industrial research would end up being the most time consuming part of the preparation process. So, we will advise you to start a little early with it. Something that I can share is that during my MBA days, I used to research on any one of the leading industries for a week and then make notes of the same using different frameworks. Knowing your interviewer is equally important. Leveraging LinkedIn comes in very handy. And you must focus on the background of the interviewer, the role transitions, and the key skills and learnings they bring onto the table. Having groomed this section gives you two critical benefits. Firstly, it makes the interviewer know that you are walking that extra mile. Secondly, you can make a set of questions ready to ask the interviewer at the end of the interview. It can leave a long lasting impression on the interviewer. The next part is elevator pitch. Imagine yourself to just have a couple of minutes wherein you have to describe about yourself, talk about your USP, and also share your future ambitions. Exactly, that is what an elevator pitch is. Having an elevator pitch is really a boon as it differentiates you from the rest of the people. Now, you must be wondering how to write your elevator pitch. Here is a quick framework for the same. Here is a simple breakdown of the framework. Introduction. Start by stating your name and the course you're pursuing. You can also briefly mention the areas you are interested in. Uniqueness. Highlight what sets you apart. Talk about your internships, life projects, academic accomplishments, and any noteworthy extracurricular activities. Make the best of this area to showcase your practical skills and dedication beyond just your coursework. Future ambitions. Share your career aspirations in this section. This gives the listener an idea that you are sincere about your future goals and are striving toward them. Just one tip here, keep it very simple and avoid using flashy terms here. should be no more than 10 to 12 words. Call to action. End with a call to action. A call to action could be as simple as asking for an advice to as complex as expressing your interest in connecting further or into any particular opportunity. Let us look at an example.
Hi, I'm Sierra Roy, a recent computer science graduate. With a passion for AI, data science, and software development, I've turned theory into practice through internships, live projects, and hackathons. I've coded ML solutions for healthcare and won hackathons with urban mobility solutions. I'm excited to contribute my skills and creativity to a forward thinking team that values innovation. Let's talk more about how I can add value to your company's goals in an interview. Thank you.
Starting out new into the professional career is not only an exciting thing but also can be very challenging. One of the most challenging aspects of it is the role fitment. If the role is not quite fit with your personality, with your skills, and with your aspirations, you might not be able to find yourself in the right direction. Role fitment becomes very critical later on in the career when the designation keeps on increasing, whereas you stop enjoying the work any further. That is the reason why you must go ahead and do the exact exercise that I did in order to find out the role fitment for myself. Here is the checklist. And the first point we have strength assessment. What you need to do is you need to create a list of all the skills that you're having right now. Break it down into soft skills and hard skills. Within the soft skills, you can go ahead and write down the pointers such as teamwork, networking, communication, whereas hard skills will generally incorporate the skills like programming language, technical tools, electrical analysis, and many more. The second thing that you need to do is you have to identify the strongest skill that you have and the ones that are relevant to the role. One thing that I can suggest in this is on a scale of 1 to 5, have a self assessment as to how good you are with any particular skill. Based on your assessment, rank them from the highest to the lowest level of expertise. The next thing that we need to do is to make a list of certifications and qualifications. So when we're talking about certifications, make sure that the certifications are relevant and they are adding any value to the role that you are going to apply for. Next is going through the job description. Now, this is the most critical part when we are talking about applying to any job. The job description is going to help you to understand the key skills that are mentioned there. Moreover, after you have listed down the key skills, you need to match them with those that you have mentioned during the strength assessment portion. Then, if we progress further, we get into the organizational expectations. Here, a clarity needs to be drawn between the alignment of job description and organizational expectations. When we talk about organizational expectations, you need to focus on the company's values, mission, and goal. Secondly, you have to understand how the role contributes to organization's main objectives. Skill fit and delivery is going to help you to find out the roles, expectations, and required skills that are needed and if you are really possessing them. You have to find out what are the existing skill sets that you're having which directly support to meet the expectations as required. The next stage is to focus on the long term vision that you have for your career. When we are talking about long term vision, here we are envisioning where you want to be in your career 3 years from now. Consider how the current role contributes to that vision and what is the career path available for you to grow in that role. Last but not the least is to understand the skill gap. Future skill needs is where you have to reflect on the skills you will need to reach your long term career goal and then evaluate if the current role offers opportunities to develop these skills. Now, coming to the career progression or the career path is always going to be different, but in most of the cases, the career progression is going to have a trajectory. In order to understand the trajectory for the role, suppose for a business analyst role, you want to find out that how the career progresses over time and what are the different designations, responsibilities, and transferable skills that you will acquire during your career. For gaining that information, websites such as theforage.com, LinkedIn, and Investopedia comes in very handy. In all the interviews that I have attended, if I could rank the questions based on the frequency in which they are asked, this question is going to rank second after tell me about yourself. At first, we need to understand that why is the interviewer asking us this particular question. It all boils down to four major reasons, namely the culture fit, your attention towards the interview, your depth of research, and most importantly, the critical thinking abilities, if you are possessing them or not. Asking relevant and valid questions is the key. So, what are the key points to consider while framing the questions? Number 1, subjectivity. Subjectivity of the questions is very critical. Avoid asking questions such as what is the CAGR of the firm or what is the headcount of the firm. Rather, a proper question should be
What are the growth opportunities that the firm is foreseeing owing to the advent of technological advancement?
such questions are called open ended questions. Answers to such questions often cover a wide spectrum of discussion topics. This makes the discussion more fruitful. Nevertheless, the focus must always be on making the interviewer feel comfortable and not putting him in a spot. The second point is value to you. Anytime you go ahead and ask a question to the interviewer, remind yourself, how is it going to add any value to my knowledge? How will the answer to the question be adding value to your knowledge base? The idea is to make sure that you learn something from the answer. If the answer is not a value addition to you, it might not be the right question to ask. The third point is trending topics. When you ask the interviewer a question regarding trending topics which is related to the industry, you hit three birds with one stone. First one is letting the interviewer know your awareness of the industry. Second is getting an expert insight on a topic of importance. Third is displaying your critical thinking ability. As you are able to link an issue of relevance with the organization's business area, it shows that you lie higher in critical thinking ability. Are you having a virtual interview? Or is it a virtual assessment that you need to submit? Remote interviews can be really tricky if you are not fully prepared for it. Having a perfectly prepared virtual setup is what you need. Going to the checklist, the most important thing is the laptop battery. Make sure that your laptop is fully charged. In case of a power failure, you don't want to find yourself running from one corner of the home to another to find an alternative power source. Secondly, the internet connection is critical. The internet connection is ensuring that you are able to continue your interview seamlessly. Always have a backup source of internet. Make sure that the webcam and the microphone are functioning properly. I would always recommend that you go ahead and familiarize yourself with the platform on which the interview will take place, be it Zoom, WebEx, or Teams. Soundproof room is always the right decorum to be a part of a job interview. It is recommended that you inform your family members beforehand regarding a scheduled interview. This way, you prevent yourself from getting disturbed during the interview. Lastly, keep the HR or interviewer's contact information handy in case of any emergency. It might happen that any unforeseen circumstance might creep up, and at that point in time, contacting your HR or interviewer is the number one thing to do. This brings us to the end of our video. Continuously grooming yourself and enhancing your interview skills is really going to take you quite far ahead. One of the key things that we have discussed in the fourth point in our video is very underrated. Yet It can be the turning point of your interview. Don't worry, we are going to make a complete video on that particular topic. If you have any problems or you face any challenges when it comes to tackling the question, do you have any questions for us? Drop us in the comment section. We will try to cover all your queries. If you like this video, don't forget to show your support to us by subscribing to our channel, sharing our video, and clicking on the bell icon that is present. Anytime we upload a new video, you will be notified right away. Till then, keep practicing, keep reviewing, and keep rocking.